Hello. I'd like to share with you a blog from our book, A Touch of Peace. And this is blog number 83. What a coincidence. And in this blog, I begin with a joke that a friend told me that there was an atheist and he was driving around in his car and he was late for a meeting and he could not find a parking place. And he was circling and circling, and then he paused and he uncharacteristically, he said, "God, if you find me a parking place, I'll believe in you." And just at that moment, a parking place opened up, and the man said, "It's okay, God, I've got this one." And how often that happens in our own life. We think that because something happens that we've done it. And there's a wonderful quote that says, "Coincidences are God's way of remaining anonymous." And that's really a very good thought to keep in mind. And in my own life and in the life of Ananda, there have been so many incidences of divine protection and guidance that you realize God's hand was always there. I remember one incident of divine protection that happened to me. I had just been in Ananda not very long, and Swami Kriyananda asked a few of us, another woman and I, Shivani, Lucky, for those of you who know her, if we would go down to Sacramento and help a friend of California and help a friend of his who was a doctor who was moving offices, and if we would help him pack up his files and so forth, and we happily agreed. And so we were there for a week, and then Swami came down for the weekend and was giving a class there. And so we were all driving back at the end of the weekend to come back to Ananda Village. And Swami's friend, Dr. Runnels, was driving the car. And Dr. Runnels was driving, Swami was in the passenger seat, and Shivani and I were in the back seat, very happy to be in Swami's presence. And there was a car in front of us that had a trailer hitch and was pulling a small flatbed trailer. And the trailer was kind of weaving a little bit like that. And Swami said, "You know, that doesn't look so safe. Dr. Reynolds, why don't you pull out in front of that car so it's not in front of us?" So Dr. Reynolds switched lanes, and we were just opposite, side to side with that car in another lane, when that trailer hitch snapped. And that trailer just began spinning, and it was a lot of traffic that day. And there was a huge pileup of cars crashing behind us. And we couldn't stop to help, because if we stopped, we would have caused an accident behind us. So we had to just keep going. But believe me, we were all no one said a word the whole way back to Ananda Village, several hours, because we realized that God had protected us in that moment. And so coincidences are God's way of remaining anonymous. I invite you to look at your own life, protection that came, or guidance that came unexpected, or an inspiration came just when you needed it, just when you were feeling low. A friend of mine told me that she was going through a really dark period, feeling very bad about herself and just discouraged. The phone rang, she picked it up, and a person on the other end, who she didn't even know who it was, said, "Remember, everything will improve, just get through this period," and hung up. You know, amazing. It's not coincidence. It's God's way of guiding all of us, His children, to find the happiness and the peace and the guidance and protection that we're seeking. So try to make God more of a conscious force in your life, and you will be amazed at His guiding hand, blessing you and protecting you all the time.